Welcome to Orange County Power Players, where we spotlight the personal, professional, and financial success stories of OC's top leaders. Here's your host, Danny Flores.
Welcome back to OC Power Players, where I interview some of the most successful people in Orange County. I'm your host, Danny Flores, and our honored guest today is Rushi Ganmukhi, zooming in from Irvine.
Yes.
Welcome, Rushi.
Thanks for having me, Danny. Excited to be here.
Yes. Thank you. Let me make a brief introduction here.
Sure.
So everybody knows who you are. So Rushi's passion for AI and languages led him to found Bola AI in 2017. Previously, he held research positions at MIT, working on projects in natural language processing and AI for the Department of Defense and the FDA. Rushi has worked in the software industry for over 10 years on AI projects, varying from marketing tech to coding tools. He enjoys hard technical problems, including publishing papers on solid-state and nanotechnology. He holds a BS and MS in computer engineering from Boston University. Wow, Rushi, we got AI going on. Everybody's talking about AI. Give us a little bit of insight of what you've done and what that looks like in your world.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know it's a hot topic, so I'll specifically talk about, what we've done. So, as you mentioned, Danny, my background is in language processing, right? Which is now the hot topic for everyone. Everyone's been using ChatGPT for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to see that it's come to the forefront, and it's exciting to be in such a hot area. Always knew I wanted to start something, kind of came out of my research position, looked at a lot of different industries. We looked at manufacturing, car parts ordering, inventory systems, quickly saw the need for AI in healthcare. I mean, healthcare is there's so much stuff going on. You go to a doctor's office, a dentist's office, there's just a million things going on. It's crazy that they get through the day.
Right.
Decided to focus on the dental space. And specifically, most people don't notice it, but when you go to a dental office, so much of their time is spent documenting, right? How are your teeth doing? What's wrong? Why are you coming in? What's your medical history? What work needs to be done? What work are you agreeing to have done? And so much time is spent on documentation. So you imagine these people who have been in school way longer than I had, right? And trained for years and years. And a primary part of their job is just writing down what happens. And in many different forms, right? There's the perio chart, looking at your gums. There's the restorative chart, looking at your teeth. And then your clinical notes. And what you really see is that they write it down, one, for their records, always good, but also for insurance. Right. In order to get paid, they have to write it down correctly. To grossly summarize what's going on. And so that's where we sprinkle some AI on top of their already existing system. So we allow patients to come in and for them to just have natural conversations with the patients about what's going on, what work they need, what they've seen from the last visit, what the patient is interested in. Say they're interested in Invisalign, right? And we kind of seamlessly capture this, put it into their correct charts. There's a few different charts in dental, as well as automatically generate their clinical notes for them.
So is that as they're doing work on you and they're having a conversation, something's recording that, kind of like a Fathom that we use on Zoom or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Just like your co-pilot on Zoom or recording on Zoom, and it kind of cleans it up, produces the right note, captures more than they would ideally.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of times they are shorthanding it, or a lot of times they get like 2 days later. And so this captures it real time. So you get really, part of it's of course speed, but we also want to give you better documentation, more comprehensive.
Yeah, I see, like when I go to the dentist, I see them have a chart and they actually like old school. They write down on a paper and when they're done, when they're done with me, they're standing there writing all the notes down.
Yep. And it's a huge part of their business, right? I mean, they send that to insurance, they get paid off of that. I mean, they do a lot of work on the patient based on that as well.
Right.
It's one of those things that if they do wrong or if they do incorrectly or if it takes more time, it really backs up their whole business.
Right. Right.
So, and it's such a tedious thing, truthfully, and they know it, we know it, right? So we want to help them with the tedious things.
Now, do you have, or do you have to have permission from the patients, I guess, to be able to record the conversation?
Yes, so we get the patient consent. And most states are like that. Of course, California, Massachusetts, where I used to be based, are like that.
Right.
So we recommend everyone get the patient consent to record.
So here's a question. If I'm an old school dentist, kind of maybe a little bit older, I've been doing
Yeah.
it this way for the last 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you come knocking on my door and say, "Hey, I got this system. It's going to cost you X amount of money. We're going to build it. We're going to make things super easy for you." And you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't even like email or even texting, kind of, because there's some old school people that like,
Yep.
what? Let's call, let's talk on the phone.
Yep.
How do you show them how beneficial it is to be able to make that leap forward to putting all of this electronically and don't have to have the paper files anymore?
Yeah, and that's something we really put a premium on while building the product is like we know the way you're doing things as a dentist, most dentists we talk to have probably been doing it that way for 10 years, 10, 15 years, right? So they've learned it in school, they've been doing it in their office that way, and now we're coming in and saying, okay, try this new tech. And so what we've really tried to prioritize is integrating into their current software if they have software,
Right.
and making it really seamless. So using commands or using structures that they're used to and trying to make it as seamless as possible. And that's really one of the goals with our product is it should just be plug and play. You turn it on, you go. You don't have to train. Now, we're not there yet, but we want to be there. And with all the
Right.
advances in AI, I think we're going to get closer and closer every year.
I hear that you have new advances almost every day. Like, how do you keep
Yeah.
up with that?
It's a lot of reading. It's a lot of reading. And I think one of the fun things for my team is we like to prioritize kind of just playing around with stuff, like trying out stuff. And
Right.
I think with AI, just, better and better every 2 months, 3 months, like you look back and you're like, oh, wow, that was so much worse. This is now state of the art. And so you just have to stay on top of it.
And there's no, see, I had the conversation with somebody not too long ago. There's no go-to place where somebody
Yeah.
keeps up and saying, "Hey, guess what? This product is this and this product that." How do you keep up with that just on your
Yeah.
own?
It's a lot of newsletters. It's a lot of newsletters that I subscribe to and try to spend the time every week to read.
Nice, nice. Now, how about, are you just concentrating on the dental industry, or do you plan to expand from there once you get like really good traction and you grow that part of the business?
Yeah, so it's a great question. And yeah, well, I actually just spoke to my team about that earlier today because there's so many areas of, especially even in medicine or other businesses that need similar things. And so where our staging ground is dental, we like to think about it is get
Mm.
really good, powerful product out there, start to go deeper and deeper into their workflows, use more and more AI to really start to uncover products that couldn't be done before or things that couldn't be done before.
Hmm.
And once we find something like that, using that in other markets as well. I think whatever we find in dental will be applicable across the board.
Yeah, so when you decided on dental, did you have to go out and learn the dental lingo
Yeah.
and the terminology to be able to do that? Kind of almost become a dentist, but not being the dentist?
Yes, that's a great question. And something we pride ourselves on in this team is that, yeah, there's, I always say the bad way to do healthcare tech is just to be a tech guy and say, we know better and just build your stuff in a silo and throw it over to the doctors and dentists.
Right.
So I know that's a not that way never works. And so we spent a lot of time in dental offices. We still go to a lot of dental offices, not as frequently as I'd like. just trying to understand what they're doing. I mean, dentists think so differently. Dentists and doctors actually think so differently than tech guys. It's always just fun to see what they're interested in. Why are they doing things the way they're doing? Is a pretty common question that comes up, like, why are you doing it like this? And then you really get into that discussion of, oh, this, XYZ, and then you really start to understand their perspective.
And then maybe even asking them, what do you wish you can do easier, right?
Yeah.
What's your wish list look like?
Exactly. And what are your question we like to add is like, just what are the top 3 things, doesn't have to be related to our product, that keep you up at night or that are problems or things you want to solve in your office? And that usually uncovers a lot of different things.
Right. Now, would it be safe to say that as you basically get a solid footing in the dental business and build out your product where it's really making an impact and your business grows there, that your next growth trajectory would be maybe doctors because it's right in line on the medical side?
Yeah, I think that's 100% the direction we want to go in. And we see maybe some specific areas of medicine. I mean, there's a lot of specialties out there that, again, we can focus on. But that is definitely our clear trajectory. And we actually get a lot of medical people kind of coming into our emails or our sales chat asking, hey, we need this for XYZ. It's really similar to what you do in dental. I went to the dentist office. We actually get a lot of patients coming in saying, hey, I went to the dentist office and we saw your tech and I'm interested in using it for XYZ.
So that's actually pretty good if the market starts asking you for the product that you have, right?
Yep. We had I'm trying to think. We had a patient come into our chat who they went to an office, saw our product. They do something interesting for the government. They do a lot of surveys of land and plants. And they actually came in, they're like, hey, this is obviously it's not the exact same, but it's very similar. Could you help us out here? So we've been talking with them and kind of discussing. So you meet a lot of interesting people and you get a lot of market pull that way. It's great. It's great.
Right. Now, how about, so as you get more business, you need a bigger team.
Yeah.
Now, AI is new. Like you said, in 3 months, 2-3 months, you look back and it just advanced so much. So then how hard is it to find somebody? Because you're like, okay, yeah, you went to school and you have a degree from 2 years ago, but that's like old news. We have everything you studied is old already. How do you hire? What kind of skills do you look for to be able to fill these positions?
Yeah, definitely for engineers, we look for people who like do side projects or like toy projects on the side. And specifically for engineers, that's a really good way to stay on top of the latest tech. And we always ask that in interviews about just what kind of side projects are you working on? And we like to see that typically it's just the passion of like, hey, it doesn't even need to be AI tech. As long as somebody is trying to improve on their own, it typically leads into what you want. So like, hey, I saw this new tech that helps you do XYZ faster, and I'm playing around with a toy project for this random thing that affects my brother's sister's wife, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so it has to be like a natural passion.
Yeah, exactly.
To learn.
Exactly. And continuously learn and tinker with things, I think is a really good skill right now with how fast things are moving.
And that's one you can't get in college. The college gives you the base, but it's going to be you that's passionate enough to be able to say, hey, you know what? I really like this. I watch YouTube videos or whatever you do to be able to learn what the latest and greatest is.
Yep, exactly.
So now, if you develop a tool for the dentist, with as fast as technology is moving, how long does it take for it to get old, or you continually develop it to keep installing or adding new technology to it consistently?
Yeah, we're always making it better. We're always trying to make it better ideally every single day, but probably every single week, right? We want to make the product better, sometimes in small ways, right? Small projects, sometimes in big ways.
Right, right. So that means when your business model, when you try to land your clients and sign them up so that you can help them be better organized and have better reporting systems and more efficient, is it kind of on a monthly subscription kind of set up like how you remember, I don't know if you remember, like a lot of the old software in the old days, we used to buy a disc and you buy it
Yeah.
once a year and then that's what you get. So somebody got smart and says, hey, that's more profitable to get everybody just to make monthly payments on it, and we forget the disc and put everything on the cloud.
Yep. It's not, yeah, that's the old one. So yeah, Danny, we do annual subscription mostly. But that keeps us honest, right? It makes sure that we're continuously making the product better, that offices are seeing the value and they want to renew. And so it keeps us honest doing it that way. And it makes the offices happy as well.
And so do you keep it on the cloud, and that's where you
Yep.
log in to make the improvements, and then
Ex-
it just kind of pushes out to everybody?
Exactly. Yep. We use cloud so that it can just automatically update everybody. As soon as we release something, everyone has the latest and greatest.
That is awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. So now, as we wrap up our interview, what do the next 6 to 12 months look like?
Oh yeah. So that's a great question. I think for us, we have the product I mentioned out, right? Our voice assistant. I think I'm hoping the next 6 to 12 months is a lot of, like I said, tinkering. I think there's a
Mhm.
lot of things to play around with that, not, and I'd say probably, I'd hope at least 20% we can bring to market and 80%
Mhm.
are just kind of fun learnings.
Right.
But I think the really big thing with AI is like we don't even we most people, right, don't even know, right, or a lot of time right now has been spent applying the new AI technology to current products, right?
Hmm.
Making our current products better that we started before, let's say LLM started. But I think there's a massive opportunity in that kind of tinkering,
Right.
playing around to bring out all whole new products that couldn't have been done before some of these recent advances. And so take that like kind of double leap, double jump of like, instead of improving your current products, bring out new products that just couldn't have been done before.
Wow.
And
That's kind of cool. It's just changing so fast on a daily,
yeah,
monthly, weekly basis. That must be a super exciting field to be in because it's just changing all the time.
yeah, 100%. It's exciting, but it's also worrisome, right? You're like, oh, is the how like there's so many companies, right, that do so many different things. I know there's just been a ton of new startups coming up, a ton of new people just doing things different ways. So it's become really competitive, but also the bar has been raised for everyone in terms of what can be done. So
Right,
it's
right.
exciting.
Yeah, I know it seems exciting. I can see you're excited about doing it. I'm sure that the dentists for now are excited to have your product that
Yep.
helps them improve the efficiency and the accuracy of the reports. So
Mhm.
that's great. Congratulations on that, Rushi.
Thank you, Danny.
And so now, if somebody is listening to us and they'd like to get a hold of you, maybe they like the product that you're talking about, how could they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can go to the website, www.bola.ai. That's BOLA, or you can reach out to our sales line. I actually field those emails, so it's sales@bola.ai for email. I answer those.
Perfect. Okay, so you heard it here. AI is the technology of the future. All right, Rushi, well, thank you so much for joining us today. And to our audience, please go to ocpowerplayers.com and follow us on your favorite channel. Thank you, Rushi.
Thank you, Danny.
Thanks for listening to Orange County Power Players. Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at ocpowerplayers.com/guest.